Hello, my dear friends. How are you all? I hope you all are good and fantastic. So, my dear friends, you are very welcome in our lecture number 3 of surface areas and volume. Okay. So, my dear friends, today we are going to solve a lot of questions and you have to be listen very carefully. Okay. So, now I hope you will enjoy this lecture. So, without wasting the time, let's start. Yes, so my dear friends, today we are going to discuss surface area of a combination of solids. Okay, so my dear friends, in this lecture, we are going to discuss about the combination of solids. Okay, so my dear friends, from the word combination of solid means in this lecture we are going to combine more than one solid. Okay, it may be cube and cuboid, it may be cube and cube, it may be cuboid and cuboid. Okay, it may be cube and cylinder, it may be cube and hemisphere. Okay, so there are the combinations of the solids which we are discussing in this lecture. Okay, so now my dear friends, areas of complex figures, areas of complex figure can be broken down and analysis as simple known as shapes. Let's suppose we have a cuboid like this, like we have a cuboid. Okay, yes, so like suppose this is a cuboid, and if I break this is into two equal parts, then it will become what? Then it will become 2 cube. Okay, then the partition gives the 2 cubes. Now it is easy to study on these cubes in respective of the cuboid. Okay, my dear friend, so by finding the areas of these known shapes we can find out the required area of the unknown figure. Okay, I hope my dear friends you understand these things. Okay, so now let's see some examples. Let's suppose we have a 2 cube like this. We have a 2 cube, and if you combine this we get a cuboid. Okay, so 2 cube, each of volume is 64 centimeter cube. Each of volume is what 64 centimeter cube. Okay, and we are joined this end to end. Let's suppose. Okay, so now my dear friends, now we have to find the area of the resulting cuboid. We have to find the area of the resulting cuboid. We can easily find it. So with the help of this volume we can find the side of this cuboid. Okay, so my dear friends, with the help of this volume we can find, we know that volume is 64 and the formula is what? Side cube. So with the help of this, L is equals to what? Yeah, 64 raised to power 1 upon 3. So this will get 4 centimeter. So this is the side of one cube. Okay, so now we are joining these two cubes. So we get what? We get 4 plus 4, which is equals to what? Which is equals to 8 centimeter. So length of cuboid we get 8 centimeter. Okay, my dear friend, but the breadth and height is same. Okay, so now with the help of this we can easily find the TSA. TSA what? TSA is total surface area. Okay, so we get 2 into LB plus BH plus HL. So we get 2 into L, we have 8 into 4 plus 4 into 4 plus 4 into 8. After solving this we get 2 into 80. So this will give 160 centimeter square. Okay, I hope you get this point, my dear friends. So my dear friends, this is the method to solve the question. If we combine two solids we can easily solve the questions. Okay, so my dear friends, and one more thing is that you have to be remember all the formulas which we learned in the previous lectures. In the previous lecture. Okay, so now my dear friends, if you remember these formulas, then you can able to solve these type of question without any problems, and you can solve the questions very fast. Okay, so these formulas are very important, my dear friends. Okay, so now let's move on. Now my dear friends, we are going to solve some problems which are based on the combination of solid, which are based on the what? Combination of solid. Okay, so now my dear friends, first question is that a vessel is in the form of a hollow hemisphere mounted by a hollow cylinder. Okay, my dear friend. So if you see this in the picture, we have a hollow hemisphere. This is our what? This is our hollow hemisphere mounted by a hollow cylinder, and the upper part is what? Hollow cylinder. Okay, now this is hollow cylinder. The diameter of the hemisphere is what? 14 centimeter. Okay, this is given, and the total height of the vessel is 13 centimeter. Total height is what? 13 centimeter. Find the inner surface area of the vessel. We have to find the inner surface area of the vessel. Okay, so our diagram is look like this. Okay, so now let's find the area of the inner surface of the vessel. So now first of all we have to write the given part. What are these? So the diameter of hemisphere, which is equals to 14 centimeter. Okay, so the radius is what? So the radius of hemisphere, which is represented as r, which is equals to 7 centimeter. Okay, now my dear friends, height of cylinder. Height of cylinder is h is equals to, now if you see the total height is what? The total height is 13. Okay, now if you observe this, the distance from this point to this point, this is what? 7 centimeter. It means if this is the radius, okay, so if we remove 7 from 13, we get the height of the cylinder. So this will become what? 13 minus 7, which is equals to 6 centimeter. So the height of the cylinder is 6 centimeter. Okay, we know that radius of hollow cylinder. So what is the radius of hollow cylinder? So the radius of hollow cylinder is the radius of the hollow hemisphere. So this will get 7 centimeter. Okay, so now my dear friends, the inner surface area of the vessel is what? CSA of the cylindrical part plus CSA of the hemispherical part. Okay, understand? So now my dear friends, yes, so my dear friends, we know that the CSA of the cylindrical part is what? 2 pi RH plus CSA of the hemispherical part is what? 2 pi r square. Okay, Now my dear friends, if we take 2 pi r as a common, we get r plus h. R plus h. Okay. Now put all these values in this equation. So we get 2 into 22 upon 7 into, we know the value of r is, which is 7, and here is 7 plus, what is the value of h? The value of h is what? Yeah, 6 centimeter. Here is the value of h is what? 6 centimeter. Okay. Now my dear friends, if we solve this, we get from this 7 will be cancelled. We get 44 into 13. Okay. If we solve this, we get 572 centimeter square. So this is the inner surface area. This is our answer. This is what? Yes, inner surface area of the vessel. Now my dear friends, we have to understand this type of question. We have to know where the CSA would be applied or TSA applied. Okay, so we have to read the question very carefully and decide whether CSA is used or TSA is used. Okay, so now let's move on. So the question number 2 is, a cubical block of side 7 cm is surmounted by a hemisphere. Okay, it means the hemisphere is on the cubical blocks. Okay, what is the greatest diameter the hemisphere can have? Okay, find the surface area of the solid. Okay, so my dear friends, this is the diagram. Okay, yes, so now first of all we have to write the given part. What is? Yeah, so each side of a cube is what? 7 centimeter. So side of cube we have 7 centimeter. Okay, and so if you observe this, this is from this to this distance. Yes, if you observe this from this to this distance, this is equals to the side of the cube. Okay, and this is what? Yeah, this is also the diameter of this, yes, hemisphere. This is the diameter of the of this hemisphere. So the diameter of hemisphere, what? This is equals to side of cube. Okay my dear friend, so what is the side of cube? 7 centimeter. So the diameter is what? 7 centimeter. So from this, radius will be what? 7 upon 2 centimeter. Okay, so now we have to find the surface area of the solid. Okay, means total surface area of the solid. So now my dear friends, what is the total surface area? Means TSA of solid is equals to what? Surface area of cubical block plus surface area, curved surface area of hemisphere. Okay, so now my dear friends, if you observe this diagram, then we have to find the total surface area. Okay, for this we have to add surface area of this cubical block. Okay, and the curved surface area of this what? Yes, curved surface area of this hemispherical ball, and we have to subtract this circular part from the cubical blocks, because when we are writing the formula of cubical blocks, then this part is included. Okay, and when we are writing the CSA, curved surface area of the hemisphere, this is not included. Okay, this is just hollow part is included, curved part is included. Okay, so now my dear friend, we have to remove this circular part from the area of the what? Cubical block. So now we have to subtract one more formula. What? Yes, we have to subtract area of base of hemisphere. So this will become, my dear friends, this will become what? Yes. Now the surface area of the cubical block, this is 6 into side square. Okay. Plus curved surface area of hemisphere 2 pi r square minus area of base hemisphere is pi r square. So this will become 6 into 7 square. 2 pi r square minus pi r square, this will become pi r square, and the value of radius is what? 7 upon 2 whole square. Okay, I hope you get this point. So now, my dear friends, we get 6 into 49 plus 22 upon 7 into 7 upon 2 into 7 upon 2. 1 7 and 1 7 will be cancelled. From this 2, 22 will be cancelled 11 times. So we get what? We get 294 plus, if we solve this, this will become 77 upon 2. If you solve this, we get 38.5, which is equals to 332.5 centimeter square. What is? Yes, 332.5 centimeter square. So the surface area of the solid is 332.5 centimeter square. I hope, my dear friends, you understand this question. Now let's move on to the next question. So the next question is, a medicine capsule is in the shape of a cylinder with two hemispheres stuck to each of its end. Okay, hemispheres stuck to each of its end. The length of the entire capsule is 14 mm and the diameter of the capsule is 5 mm. Find its surface area. So my dear friends, we have two hemisphere and one cylinder. Okay, we have what? Two hemisphere and one cylinder, like this. If you see this diagram, here is two hemisphere, okay, at each corner, and there is in the middle is one cylinder. Okay, now the given part is diameter of the capsule, which is equal to 5 mm, which is equals to what? 5 mm. So the radius is what? So radius is equals to 5 upon 2, means 2.5 mm. Okay, my dear friends. Now what is the length of capsule? So the length of capsule is, in this question, here is the length of entire capsule is 14 mm. Okay, yes, length of capsule, which is equals to 14 mm. Okay, yes. So my dear friends, so the length of cylinder is what? Now if you observe this, length of cylinder is, if you subtract 2.5 from the upper side and 2.5 from the lower side from the 14 mm, so we get what? Yes, we get length of cylinder. So 14 minus 2.5 plus 2.5, okay, which is equals to 14 minus 5, which is equals to 9 mm. What is 9 mm? Yes, surface area of the hemisphere. What is? We know that the formula is 2 pi r square. Okay, and if we put the values, we get 2 into 22 upon 7 into radius is was 2.5 into 2.5. If you solve this, we get 275 divided by 7 mm square. This is the surface area of hemisphere. Okay. Now we have to find the surface area of the cylinder. So surface area of cylinder is what? We know that 2 pi RH. This is the CSA. Okay. So now if we put the value, we get 2 into 22 upon 7. We have radius is what? 2.5. And height is what? Height of cylinder is what? 9 centimeter. Okay. So now after solving this, we get 990 upon 7 mm square. What is? Yes. 990 upon 7 mm square. So the required surface area of medicine capsule will be required surface area of capsule, which is equals to, okay, so now my dear friends, we have two sphere, so we have to multiply 2 times of CSA of hemisphere. Okay, plus CSA of cylinder. So we get 2 into 275 upon 7, okay, plus 990 upon 7. Okay, so now my dear friends, if we solve this, we get 550 upon 7 plus 990 upon 7, we get 1540 upon 7. If we solve this, we get 220 mm square. So this is our final answer. I hope my dear friends you understand these questions. Okay, yes. So now let's move to the next question, which is, yes, so the question number 4 is, a hemispherical depression is cut out from one face of the cubical wooden block such that the diameter L, we have the diameter is what? L of the hemisphere is equal to the age of the cube, is equal to the age of the cube. Okay, so determine the surface area of the remaining solid. So the diagram is look like this. Okay, now we know that diameter of hemisphere is equals to age of the cube, which is equals to L. Okay, so my dear friends, radius of hemisphere, which is equals to L upon 2. Okay, so what is the total surface area? Total surface area is equals to surface area of this cube, surface area of this cube, total surface area of this cube, plus CSA of hemisphere minus area of base of hemisphere, means this. We have to subtract this also. I hope my dear friends. So now my dear friends, we are writing the formula. So TSA, total surface area of solid, which is equal to TSA of cube plus CSA of hemisphere. Okay, CSA of hemisphere minus area of base of hemisphere. Okay, now put the formula. So the formula is total surface area of cube is what? 6 into side square plus, yes, CSA of hemisphere is 2 pi r square. Okay, minus area of base of hemisphere, which is pi r square. So now my dear friends, we have 6L square plus pi r square. Okay, 6l square plus pi. We have radius is what? L upon 2 square. So this will give 6l square plus pi l square upon 4. Okay, so now from this we can take the common l square upon 4 and we get 24 plus pi, which is square unit. So this is our required answer. Okay, so my dear friends, I hope you understand these questions. Okay, so now let's move on. Yes, so now my dear friends, the next question is, yes, the volume of a cuboid is 440 centimeter cube. Now we have a volume of cuboid and the area of its base is 88 centimeter square. What is the area of its base? Now we have to find its height. Okay, so my dear friends, this is very easy question. Okay, so now my dear friends, we have volume is equals to 414 centimeter cube and area is equals to what? This is the area of base, which is equals to 88 centimeter square. Now my dear friends, we know that volume of any of the figure is equals to base area into height. Okay, and we have to find height, so we can find it like this: h is equals to volume divided by base area. Okay, so now what is volume? This is 440. Okay, and what is base area? This is 88. Okay, so now if we solve this, we get h is equals to 5 centimeter. H is equals to what? Yes, 5 centimeter. So this is what? This is our required answer. Okay, so now my dear friends, the next question is, a metallic sheet is of the rectangular shape with dimensions 48 into 36 centimeter. Okay, now from each one of its corner a square of 8 centimeter is cut off. An open box is made of the remaining sheet. Okay, now find the volume of the box. Find the volume of the box. Okay, my dear friends, so now my dear friends, our box is look like this. Okay, so now in order to make an open box, a square of side 8 centimeter is cut off from each of the 4 corners. Okay, and the flaps are folded up. Okay, after cutting this, we are folding up the like this. Okay, so now my dear friends, the box will have the following dimension like this. We have length is what? What is? This is 48 centimeter. Now we have to find this length. This is what? This is 48 minus 8 minus 8. We have to subtract from both the sides. So this will become 48 minus 8 minus 8, which is equals to what? 32 centimeter. And this side is what? 36 centimeter. Okay, 46 into 36. So now from this side will be, if you subtract from 8 from upside and from and 8 from the downward side, so this will become, so we have breadth is 36 minus 8 minus 8. This will equals to 20 centimeter. And my dear friends, what is the height? So the height of this is 8 centimeter. Is what? Yes, 8 centimeter. Okay, if the remaining portion, if we folding up like this, so the height will be what? 8 centimeter. Okay, so now my dear friends, volume of the box is, volume of the box is, we know that length into breadth into height. So we have length, we have breadth, and we have height. If we multiply 32 into 20 into 8, so we get 5120 centimeter cube. Okay, my dear friends, volume is always in the cubic meter. So this is our required answer. Okay. Okay, so the next question is, the length of cold storage is double its breadth. We have a cold storage. Okay, so the length of cold storage is double its breadth. Its height is 3 meter. Okay, so the area of its 4 walls, including the doors, is 108 meter square. Now, my dear friends, we have to find its volume. Okay, so let length of cold storage is what? L. Okay, L meter, and breadth of cold storage is B meter. Okay, my dear friends, and height of cold storage is H meter. Okay, my dear friends, so we have L, B and H. So according to question, length is double its breadth. Okay, so we can write it here like L is equals to twice of B. L is what? L is equals to twice of B. So now, my dear friends, and we have H is equals to 3 meter. H is what? Yes, 3 meter. Okay, so area of 4 wall is what? Yes. So we can write here as lateral surface area of cold storage, which is in cuboid form, is equals to area of 4 walls, is equals to area of 4 walls. Okay, which is equals to 108 meter square. 108 meter square. So now, my dear friends, with the help of this, we have 2 into L plus B into H. This is what? This is the lateral surface area of the cuboid, which is equals to 108 meter square. So this will become, if we place the value of L, which is 2B, plus B into the value of H is 3, which is equals to 108. Okay, now, my dear friends, 2 into 3 is what? 6 into 2B plus B, thrice of B, which is equals to 108. From this, we have the value of B is 108 divided by 3 into 6. Okay, so now, my dear friends, we can cancel it 6 by 2. By from how many times? It will goes to 3 times. If you cancel 108 by 2, then it will goes to 5 and 4, 54 times. Okay, so now, my dear friends, if we solve this again, if we cut from this 54, we get what? Yes, and 8. So we have B is equals to this, and now we can again cancel it by 3. How many times? Yes, 6 times. So from this, we get B is equals to 6 meter. Okay, my dear friends. Now, with the help of this value, we can find the value of length. We know that L is equals to twice of B. So this will become 2 into 6, which is equals to 12 meter. So we have length, breadth and height. Then we can easily find volume. So volume of the cold storage, volume of the cold storage is L into B into H meter cube. Okay, so now we have L is 12, B is 6 and H is what? 3. Okay, my dear friends. So now if we solve this, we get 216 meter cube. So this is our answer. Okay, I hope, my dear friends, you understand these things. Yes, my dear friends, the next question is the sum of length, breadth and depth of a cuboid is 19 centimeter. Okay, and the length of diagonal is 11 centimeter. So my dear friends, we have to find the area of the cuboid. Okay, so according to question we have L plus B plus H, which is equals to 19 centimeter, and length of diagonal is equals to 11 centimeter. Okay my dear friends, I hope you get this point. So now my dear friends, we know that in previous lectures we learnt the formula of diagonal of length. So the formula of diagonal of length is what? Yes, which is equals to under root L square plus B square plus H square. L square plus B square plus H square. Okay my dear friends. So we have under root L square plus B square plus H square is equals to 11. If we square both the sides, we get L square plus B square plus H square is 121. So my dear friends, this is the equation number 1. Okay. Now my dear friends, we have L plus B plus H, which is equals to 19. So if we square both the sides, so we get what? We get L square plus B square plus H square plus twice of LB plus BH plus HL. Okay, this will is equals to 361. Okay, so now my dear friends, so from this equation 1, we can put the value of L square plus B square plus H square is 121. So we get 121 plus 2 into LB plus BH plus HL, which is equals to 361. Okay, so now my dear friends, 2 into LB plus BH plus HL is equals to 361 minus 121, which is equals to 240, which is equals to what? 240. So now my dear friends, we know that this is the formula of what? Yeah, this is the formula of surface area of cuboid. So we can say that surface area of cuboid is equals to 240 centimeter square. Okay, so this is our required answer. I hope my dear friends you understand these things. Okay, so my dear friends, this is enough for today, and we will meet in the next lecture with the next amazing topic. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Okay, so it's time to leave. So thank you very much guys for listening me, and take care and goodbye.